this is Sports Zone, and I am Mufsao Nabila Abda. As I mentioned, this show is probably brought to you by Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. I'm a Gary Soaking, so yeah, easy. And Spintex.
Yeah, if you are not best into this laughter, many wouldn't have realized. You have said Spintex dance, then you come back and say Spintex dance. Like, you just gloss over it. But you laugh, so everybody now, they wonder why you're laughing. And now they'll figure out you say...
Spintex tanker, you're stronger, you're tough. Guinness, yes, we can. Piva beverages, a taste you will love. And Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix, right? Are you feeling hungry right now? With Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. In fact, I ate some just this afternoon, yes. Me every day I chop Kivo. Yes, I'm a proper ambassador for Kivo. So just go to a nearby provision shop and you'll be sorted. In fact, there are plenty of provision shops near me. So anytime I'm hungry, I just walk to one. So where you find yourself currently, if there's any provision shop near you, you can get one. And they've got them in two categories. There's one with a certain level of sugar and there's one with low sugar, yes. So those of you who like the one with the low sugar, no, go take that one. If you want the one we get high sugar, you can equally go for that one. Because with Kivo Gary, everything in there is sorted. You've got granite, you've got milk, you've got the Gary itself, there's sugar in it. So it makes everything quite special. And there wouldn't be anything better for you to satisfy yourself with ease other than Kivo Gary. So I suggest Kivo Gary for you. And the students, if you're going back to school, just get Kivo Gary, a big box, go and put it in your school. When you come back from prep and you're tired and there's nothing to eat, just go to your chalk box and get one Kivo Gary and you'll be good to go. Kivo Gary Soakings, this ad is FDA approved. And also Piva Beverages, looking for a burst of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, orange flavor, tangerine flavor, grape and cocktail. Flavorful moments in every bottle. Piva Cola, orange, cocktail, grape, and tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at a local store near you. So just go out right now to the local store near you and get any of the flavors Piva has got. And you can get in touch with Piva on 0550 032 231. 0550 032 231. Piva, it is a taste that you will love. And also, Spintex tank. What is your preferred color of tank? Spintex has it. What is the guarantee that you want? Spintex has it as well. What kind of inner layer do you want? Is it double, triple, quadruple? As many layers as you want, Spintex has it too. So remember, no matter your water needs, Spintex has it. Spintex tank is strong, tough. We've got over 300 agents nationwide. So if you want a tank, just get in touch with us on 0244 33 5168, 0244 33 5168, or visit Spintex on social media at Spintex Ghana or shop online on www.spintexgh.com. Spintex tank, a strong, a tough. And as I mentioned, Guinness, yes, we can. So later in the show, we'll bring you Ghanaian players abroad. Our gentleman, the father of Ghanaian players abroad, Abdul Karim Benin, is finally back. And he's back to meet his nemesis, Daniel Cranton. We'll also bring you Guinness Match Day. Gentlemen, on Saturday, that's about 2 weeks ago, I had intel that the Ghana Football Association were considering setting up a management committee for the Black Stars. These are conversations we've had many times, where there have been times people have actually suggested that this committee is not even worth it. But at FA, following a 3-man meeting, the president began taking steps to set up another committee. He spoke to Stephen Appiah at Randy Abbey's birthday party. He spoke to Richard Nsenchwe, the CEO of Samatex. He spoke to Randy Abbey himself. He spoke to Samuel Boabri, the Greater Accra Regional Football Association chairman. These are the people so far that we know are going to be on the committee. What do you make of the decision of the FA to, first of all, even think about setting up a management committee after they decided to dissolve it.
Is there no white people that has said that we shouldn't have management committees?
Nope.
But that white paper has been there for 10 years or 11 years now, but they still continue to set up management committee
for it. And but I'm moving on from that. What is he setting up the management committee to do? Because we've always had management committees for the Black Stars.
Yes.
Their use and their purposefulness of around the national team has never really been anything solid. We've not achieved anything, at least in the last decade, with any management committee. It's been the last management committee we had dissolved itself before the FA officially dissolved it. Yeah. We know the legend Sami Kufuor, left the committee. Alhaji Grusa wasn't in the committee anymore. They didn't even replace him. In the end, we had about only 2 members still serving in that committee that the FA said they had set. So the point is, what is the real purpose of having the management committee, and why are we revisiting it again? I say that in 2025, there are far more better and effective ways of managing national teams than putting these members together to manage the national team. And you see, I think that people underrate what management can be. Management also comes with a lot of experience. So I think the FA needs to have a second look at how to manage national teams. And they have to do that with government. I'm looking at an FA that is going to tell us that they are going to create a national teams department, right? That can have its general manager and can have its staff working in.
But they already have a national teams department.
No, that is not functioning. It's.
Oh, it's headed by Alex Asante.
It's not functioning. It's not functioning. If you have a national teams management department, then you have no need for the management committee. It doesn't make any sense. So what's the job of the national teams? I'm looking at a national teams department that is going to take up everything the FA thinks this management committee takes charge of, right? Because when you're able to do that for a period of time, you have a lot of experience to learn from. Yeah. You're not looking at necessarily disbanding it because you have a field tournament, you have a field AFCON qualified campaign, but people can learn from that based on a track record. But it's always a recycle at the FA. Dr. Randy Abbey is here today. Tomorrow he might not be part of the team. Stephen Appiah has been around the team before as team manager. Now he's coming back.
Yeah.
If that is.
In fact, another time he was a team coordinator. Later they put him on the management committee. He never attended a single meeting. Yeah. And now it appears he's ready to serve.
He's back here again. I don't think that the whole management committee concept has really been positive around the Black Stars, and so we need to have a relook and a rethink about it. I can understand why the FA have gone with it. It's what they know. And we can't keep doing the same old things and expect that the feel around the team improves. I think we need to start looking at different ways of managing a national team, because as far as I'm concerned, the management committee thing doesn't work. And it's actually too expensive to also run it, because if they're going to go to a competition, come back and earn $100,000 for just being part of the committee, I don't think that is proper. And to be fair, the caliber of people they put in that committee and some of the job they claim that the committee does, they leave it to tournaments to do it. But it has to be a daily work. Managing a national team has to be a proper work that people put in to get it running. And it has to be across all our national teams, not just the Black Stars.
But Daniel Cranton, one of the arguments that was advanced based on the information available was the fact that some people have said even Ghana's failure to qualify to the AFCON can be attributed to the absence of a management committee, because there was no leadership in terms of how the team would prepare, in terms of how the team would camp and all that. And they believe that a management committee is actually needed to steer the affairs of the team to be able to qualify to the World Cup.
That's a very funny
excuse.
Because there have been more instances where there's been a presence of a management committee that has directly led to failure than in the absence of one that has led to failure. There was one at the AFCON, Alai. Yeah. There was one at the World Cup, Alai. Yeah. There was one at the previous AFCON, Alai. Yeah. So the consistent failures of these Black Stars have had the presence of management committees and have produced failure upon failure upon failure. So if you don't have it one time and it produces failure again, why are you saying it is because of the absence of one? It is just because, and for me, I've reached the conclusion, because when a white paper, a group of people learned people sit down, assess a situation over time, look at just not what happened, but look at what...
A group of people that even have high court powers.
Look through something with historical evidence and reach a conclusion and say they don't advise on this thing, take it to the president, talk about this thing is not... It doesn't help. But immediately after, in fact, the first tournament after they said we shouldn't do it, we went to form management committee. And we've done it over and over and over again. So when it happens like that, you can only reach the conclusion that it is beneficial to the individuals or the association who sets it up. And for me, I'm just hoping that this time around, it won't be as lucrative as they think it is because he's coming. If they think they are... No, it's true. If they think they are going to set up this thing and continuously rip the people of Ghana off, like sharing $100,000 for work done, I don't understand how you can go to a competition and you earn more than the players. You earn more than the coach. You earn more than the technical staff. As a management committee member, I don't think it's going to be as lucrative as they think. So hopefully this time around, we'll actually see them working, because you have to work before you get our money, because he's coming again. And he is not going to sit aloof and watch them share money like they've been doing before. This time around, the individual who have the task to sign off our money to them to take to a competition or take to qualifiers or whatever, that individual is somebody who has historical evidence of fighting against the establishment and protecting the national purse. So he is coming. So I'm very happy that hopefully this time around it will not be as
who is coming?
Oh, he's coming.
Who is that?
And
your viewers want to know who's coming.
They know who I'm talking about. And hopefully after this, when he frustrates them,
do you know who the Anacrata is referring to?
When he frustrates them to the point that they realize that indeed the people who wrote or put together the white paper are right, then they'll finally abolish it. He is coming.
But the inclusion of Stephen Appiah, there are certain things I would like to talk about just around this area. But the inclusion of Stephen Appiah, the inclusion of someone like in Century, the inclusion of someone like Samuel Boabre. Randy Abbey, he was a committee chairman of the Under-20 team that won the Under-20 AFCON in Mauritius in 2021. But Stephen Appiah is making a return. Not to state categorically, but he did confirm to me that the FA president has spoken to him about serving on that committee. That clearly suggests this is more of a confirmation that, yeah, indeed, he's on it. So what do you make of the decision of the FA?
I think it's a confirmation that he's been approached. I'm not sure if we don't know if he has accepted it or not, but
I know he has done consultations. I know he's spoken to some people, and it all turned positive. So, in fact, Richard Century was expecting Accra today to have further conversations with people surrounding the same thing.
No, look, if you're going to go for the management committee as it is now, I don't have a problem with the personalities in the committee. I don't have a problem with the personalities in the committee. Some of them are political, which is sound. Stephen Appiah commands a certain level of respect. If the players see him around the camp, and he's part of what the management planning is. I think many players who now play in the Black Star grew up watching Stephen Appiah as their legend, and they all wanted to perhaps be like him. So he'll command that kind of presence in the camp, which is needed, because already throughout the team lacks leaders. So if you're going to have that figure who's not on the pitch but in and around the team as a figure, it could help. I have a problem with the management committee as it is. But if that is what they are going to do, I don't have a problem with the personality they picked. We know Dr. Randy Abbey, he's experienced enough, he knows his way around it. He also commands a lot of respect, not only from the footballers, but it's a political move. It's a political move by the FA. If the management committee has to sit with government and negotiate certain terms that they expect the team to get, and Stephen Appiah is part of that group, all of whom now look like are very close to the current government. The FA perhaps get their way or get negotiation powers because of the bodies that they put on that team. So I think that if you want to credit the FA for something, then it's the fact that they've picked some of the right people now to appeal to the current government. But as Daniel Cranston said, I'll choose his words, he's coming. And he's been here before, he understands.
You're leaving us and our viewers.
To be honest, I don't know what that is talking about. It just sounds nice to me, so I'm just using it. So allow me to go ahead. Whatever that means, he's coming. Yeah, so I'm saying that with the way the current government is speaking, I think one of the first things that they are looking at doing, and we had the Minister of Finance designates that he was saying, saying that we also need to look at cutting expenditure. Yeah. And I think if they're going to cut expenditure, it has to be across. And we've overspent on the national team. We can be a lot more prudent. So yeah, I think it's a political move for lobbying, for negotiation. The personalities on there are top people. I agree with that. Yeah. But if you can channel those personalities into day-to-day management of all our national teams with a proper staffing around an office, I think that for me is the way to go. But not this 5-7 member management committees.
Two more things, just within the same area. Our very good friend, Aminu Shado, could lose his role as team manager of the Black Stars. And the FA2, finally, they've agreed to hire a team psychologist. As to who that person is going to be, no name has come up yet. But the next technical team that was lining up in the World Cup qualifiers, there will be a team psychologist. What do you make of this decision? Moving Aminu Shado or partnering with someone, because they say they need someone who is computer literate. According to the leadership of the FA, a team manager's job goes beyond just paying per diems to players. You need to upload certain things to some systems, and they need someone who is computer literate. So some names had come up. Kwame Ayu came up. Anthony Baffo came up. But they all thought like, no, Anthony Baffo.
Wait. Is wanting somebody who is computer literate, does that have a direct relationship with Aminu, that he is not?
Yeah, no. The key reason Aminu got the job was because he's computer literate.
So why is he going if he's computer literate?
No, now there's a conversation that suggests that the team manager, most often, when they are ex-players, they have a certain level of influence on their colleagues. Because they've been there, they've done it before, they have a certain level of influence on their colleagues. So when the conversation happened, the FA leadership were convinced that indeed, if they have someone who is a former player, and I was told that there was a meeting with PFAG where Derek Boateng was the man who was extremely vocal about how the FA has decided to surround the national teams with their people. And that some of the performances witnessed is because some of the players often feel that we are the reason why you are here, and you're using our sweat to sort out your people. So they suggested that they should use a former player as a team manager, which the FA has agreed. But the explanation the FA president, I was made to understand, gave was that they needed someone who was a computer literate to be able to be in the team manager position. Aminu too had done stuff in football administration, so they thought of him as the right person. But now they want to move him on and bring someone who is a former player to occupy that position.
That is why I spoke about national teams management, national teams management office. If you've got that, you don't need a management committee, you don't need a team manager. The leader of that management team could be that. Whatever you need to upload into any system could be done from anybody from the office, because they would have, look, let's go around the world and ask those who are doing football management properly and ask them if they do the things we are doing and check why they're excelling and why we are not excelling. Because to be honest, the management committee you've put out there, if you cannot get one person from that management committee to do the job Aminu Shado does, then what is the use of all the 5 people who are what job do they really do in the management committee? And what job does Aminu Shado do as a team manager that one person from that management committee cannot do? And that is what I'm saying, that when you begin to create these committees, these boxes, and set up these things and put people there, you're just overlapping duties. I'm saying that put up a proper structure. Set up a national team's office where there are people in there who are working. So if the national team is moving, somebody from the management or people from the management committee are moving with the people. They've got a full team that know absolutely what to do, because they'll be taken through the training. People know what they have to do in terms of the information they want to put onto the system. Yeah. People know their way around. And it's going to run smoothly because people will be trained, people will be employed. That is their daily bread and butter. When they travel, they won't be paid big sums for that because they're already paid at the end of the month. What they'll be paid is per diem for traveling.
Yes.
And it's in the end cheaper, if you ask me, because you serve better, you have people who are working, the experience will be building up, and people are actually going to bid into the job, applying into the job, and what have you. But if you are letting Aminu Shadow leave and bringing in
an
ex-player to do it, I get what they say with experience. Look, there are two things. I don't think the current structure works. I don't think the current way they run the Black Stars work. But even in the states that they are under, I think doesn't work. Some of the things they are doing in terms of personalities and persons that they are picking, I'm quite pleased with it. Like I said, the management committee, the people on it, I like the personalities. They've got some experience, they can help. If they're looking to bring an ex-player as the team manager, as it's been prior to Aminu's appointment, I still think yes is the way to go. But then again, the person must be capable of delivering. But if you ask me, if you've got a management committee, if you've got a team manager who's going to do a job that somebody definitely from the management committee can easily pick up.
What about the team psychologist? Finally, after such a long time, they finally agreed to hire a psychologist.
Yeah, I don't think they should limit it to the Black Stars. I think all the national teams need a psychologist. It is very, very important, especially if you look at the way our national teams have been losing. So, it's true. In the manner in which we've been losing certain games. In fact, when you speak to some of, especially the female players, you speak to some of them, some of the things they say, you can just clearly tell that if somebody was in there to be able to calm their minds before the storm, it probably wouldn't have been so. So I don't think they should limit it to the. It's actually quite embarrassing that they have finally decided to. Yeah. Like it is something that you have an option not to. It is actually quite embarrassing, but thankfully they've seen the light, and I hope that the light spreads to the rest of the national teams, and they quickly do it because, in fact, this year I think the most important assignment this year is with the Black Queens with the AFCON. So I think they need it.
And our World Cup qualifier. You know, America.
I don't want to say it. No, we want to go, but it's on way. But the most important one is the women's AFCON. That's a major competition.
We need a coach. We need a coach as soon as possible for that. And the one thing too that we didn't talk about is the fact that the FA is actually considering partnering with government to set up what they call a World Cup task force to oversee Ghana's qualification to the World Cup.
We've not hired a coach for Black Queens.
That's what I'm saying. We need a coach. We need a coach. We need a coach as soon as possible. Nora left on 31st.
But we are putting up management committee for Black Stars.
Oh, yeah. Because we have World Cup qualifiers coming up in March.
There's an AFCON this year.
The AFCON is not June, July.
They don't have coach.
And they'll get us a coach.
The ones you want to compete with, they have coaches.
Yes.
In fact, the one that beat you to the Olympic place has hired your coach and has already started training with the coach. And you are waiting to June before you hire.
There was a World Cup task force, the one that task force. I think it's quite a smart move, so that if they fail to qualify for the World Cup, we'll say, no, government was part, so you cannot blame the FA alone. I've got some messages coming through, and this one says that, hi, Muftao, I am KY watching you from Suyane. I think Danny K is talking about Edwin Nilante Van der Poel. Solid man. Make it come shape the so-called football people. Good evening, my senior brother. Please, is Randy part of those who took the 100? No, Randy did not. He was not part of that management committee. And in fact, he actually expressed serious reservations about it, about how management become team members.
But he defended it at the public accounts committee.
So, one thing, it's quite weird. Sometimes when they go in public spaces, they try to defend it. But in private,
but nobody cares about what they do.
We don't care about private.
We can't what's on record. What's on record is that.
Okay, so we'll take what you said on record. But I do know he expressed reservations about the fact that people paid themselves $100,000.
But those reservations are not valid.
Okay, they are not valid.
The most valid one is what you said in the public.
The one you said on
the public committee.
On record.
Yeah.
Very condescending too.
Yeah. Hi guys, I am Joseph from Bande. Hey, Karim.
Yeah, that's Karim.
Karim's brother. Hey, I'm here. You are here because of Karim Abi. He's coming. I'm Joseph from Bande. Happy New Year, guys. Just love to watch Sports Zone. I know a lot of people are excited because Madrid lost to Barcelona yesterday. It's part of football. Holla to all Madrid fans. Where is friends today? Hi to Karim, my uncle. I knew it. And greetings to Majid Bongo. And hello, the best evening sports show in the country. Thank you. If the GFA doesn't resurrect our national team for us this year, also the incoming sports minister, John Mahama, should what? tighten the belt before starting work. Now, to my issue of the day, I am hoping for a draw game in tomorrow's clash between Liverpool and stubborn academy boys of the season. That key. My man, what's up? Yes. He says, what's up? Good evening. I am Abdulrazak from Kotobabi, Berlin Bridge. I would like to know more about Manchester United transfer, which players are coming and who is leaving. Hi, Nabila. I'm happy about the return of the show tonight after the inauguration activities. I'm also happy about Bayern Munich winning a tough game as Leverkusen is pushing us to the wall for the title. Yeah, I'm angered by Fentio's absence. Why is he? Especially Fentio, stop calling me. The people are angry that you are not here. So why are you calling me? Call them directly and tell them. This is Thompson from DC. Good evening to you, Nabila, and your panelists over there. With the Black Stars, including Stephen Appiah, to the management committee would not change the fortune of the Black Stars. The one who is Black Stars' problem is Coach Otuado. So including Stephen Appiah to the management board is like pouring a clean water into a dirty water. I would urge Stephen Appiah not to accept any appointment to the Black Stars if he wants to maintain the respect and recognition of what he has done for the nation from Jacob School inside EAG. And I totally agree with Daniel on his opinion on the psychologist issue. Gentlemen, I want to go to the FA.
Yeah, before we go to the FA Cup, the FA is trying to make all the changes around the national team. But what's the consideration for the coach? Because I think that the failures of the coach has nothing to do with the management committee in and around it. Do this too?
They were actually waiting. Bro, I'm watching the show. Tell the FA they are dancing around the truth. They can appoint the best management team ever. If the coach is not good and not up to the task, they will fail miserably. It is clear that the FA led by Kurt is confused. Failure is part of Kurt's DNA. Why is also still in the job? How?
Now,
Christopher
right. So I've not even seen him.
Yeah.
So I was asking about the coach because by now the FA need to come out clear and tell us they are backing him.
They're trying to get a technical director to support him.
No, so the FA by now need to come out clear that they are backing the coach and they're sticking with him. Because the last thing Ghanaians know is the FA met with the coach. The outcome of that is not public knowledge.
It was inconclusive.
Yes, and so nobody knows what happened there. What they know is the coach went there to justify why he couldn't qualify to the AFCON. In the minds of Ghanaians, if you're a coach and don't qualify Ghana to the AFCON, you are not good enough. And I'm not the one saying it. You can just do a poll on social media. Yeah. So that's the public sentiment. Now, all the players around the national team as well are considering who is going to lead them to the World Cup qualifiers. Yeah. I think that a proper, proactive FA is straight away coming out to back the coach and say, listen, we stick with Otuado because we are not confident that between now and March, we find a coach who is capable of turning the corners. However, we think we have a good feature with Otuado, so he still leads Ghana into the World Cup qualifiers. When you're able to be proactive to put this statement out to back the coach, the players now know that by hook or crook, they need to also listen to the manager, work with him. And all Ghanaians can say whatever they want to say and register their displeasure. But I guarantee you that once they know that they have to support the national team whose coach is Otuado, Ghanaians will support it. But when you leave it in limbo, when you leave this lacuna, you're only going to create, all the rhetorics around social media. I think the FA need to come out clear on that.
Yeah, actually they have to. And in fact, one of the things I heard was about the fact that the former president had told them to keep Otto. That's what the FA claims. But now he's no longer there. And it's quite difficult, not to speak to for the FA, but one of the difficult things that I've heard is about the fact that a new government is coming in. They don't know what it will look like if they decide to sack the coach. So they will need to have a conversation with the politicians to reach an agreement before a definite decision is taken. But can't tell us stance.
I'm just going to say, the FA needs to have a position first. What is the FA's position before the government comes? Is the position that we don't have a coach we trust, but we are not too sure if the government backs our decision to let him go, so we will work with him? Or their position is that we have a coach we still want to work with, and we are hoping the government backs us. As we speak, nobody knows the FA's decision on the coach, and that is where the problem is.
Yeah,
so the FA needs to position. They can't use the government as a screen.
They are using government as a screen, but they're keeping Otto. They're keeping Otto. For them, they want to keep Otto, because even for them to say that the former president Nana Akufo-Addo had told them to keep Otto and they like him, he likes him, and what. Right? It's funny, but that's what they said. But he's no longer there. There's a new government in place. The new government will come and have a conversation. And that's where an agreement can be reached, as where they want to keep him or they want to let him. Because if you sack him right now, it's a new government who will pay the severance package. So let's reach an agreement before we decide whether we want to sack him or want to keep him. Let's talk FA Cup football now. Kotoko has a folk, are true. Just briefly, then we'll do Ghanaian players abroad and go and do Guinness Match Day. Sicho?
Yeah, it's FA Cup.
With Kotoko and House in the fever is still good, isn't it?
I think in the last 4 years or so, it's hard to have done well in the FA Cup if you consider the two teams. Kotoko have, unfortunately for them, when they've been knocked out of the FA Cup, it's always come at a time where the whole team is in sort of crisis in the last couple of seasons. This time they're in a good run of form coming into the game, and they've won it. I think teams are also now going to take the FA Cup seriously because they know it's also an opportunity of going into Africa, an opportunity of you winning a trophy, and adding that to your accolade. So yeah, it's good to see the big teams in there. But look, what makes the FA Cup special normally would be the upsets. I don't think we had a lot of upsets here. Look at the Premier League teams that are there. We've got about
Dreams FC lost.
There are eight Premier League teams, 8 Division 1 teams.
Yeah, so Dreams FC lost. As Danny says, but I'm just wondering if I've not seen the game. I'm wondering if any referee was free and square. Fair.
Oh no, they beat Dreams FC 1-0. True Democracy beat them 1-0.
Yeah. Right.
Fair and square.
So it's good. I mean, we always love the FA Cup, and it's around from this point that you see some upsets, see some top games happening. So yeah, let's see how it pans out.
Danny, your House of Folk, they are true.
They are not for me. I don't own the club. But congrats. Congrats to them. No, in as much as...
Isn't this a club you've invested so much emotions in?
And now it's no more. But look, in as much as we like the upsets in the FA Cup, it's also very important for the big teams to stay, because then it means interest grows. And especially with the Ghana football, where interest every week is dwindling, you need Hearts and Kotoko to be in it to keep the interest there. So I'm happy they made it through, waiting to see how the draw goes. But hopefully they avoid each other. They get Division 1 teams, because this is round of 16.
Yeah.
Next round is the quarter-final, and from then, if they go out, it's big news. We like it, but nobody really cares.
We're not going to do anything, Avi. And hopefully, the winner of the FA Cup will get some good money to go to Africa. Because in Suatruman, Dreams FC had $30,000 to go to Africa. They gave in Suatruman $15,000.
How much did Samatex get?
$15,000. Mediama got $30,000 to go to Africa. Samatex got $15,000. So they are fighting currently.
Like you fight.
Someone sent me stuff from one WhatsApp group complaining bitterly. I said their clubs are not supporting them for complaining, and that we will see. If you also go to Africa and the FA decides to give you $10,000, no club will come and back your cries.
So wait.
We have Bande Pep Guardiola in the studio. Bande Richard Quest.
It's you, Karim, it's you. They are talking to you.
He's not talking.
Abdul Karim Benin.
Now who is from Manu? Is it you?
I actually had a message from Bande this evening. He said your uncle, Joseph, he's called Joseph. You know
Joseph
him?
Always
That is true. When I went there, he did me well.
Yes.
Did you show?
He did me show. Yes.
Yes.
You left here for them to go and do your show, or you left it to go and do them show? Which one is it?
I thought you were going to do them show.
Which other way? Any other ways?
Bande TV star.
Who did who show?
But he is there. I am visiting there.
So you who is visiting have to go and do show?
No.
Especially when you're coming from the capital.
He welcomed me to his house.
So when you go to US and you're staying in the US, and Daniel and I come to Tracy at US, when we come, you have to come and do your show. You don't do your show.
Wait, I don't understand. Say that again.
When you go to US and you're there for 4 years, and Daniel and I have to come and do some Bama Pade, and we come there and we call you, link up with you. Are we the ones come to do your show?
But he is there now. Me, I am not there again.
So You are leaving the capital to your hometown.
Yes.
And you want your hometown person to do you show.
Do you know what is there?
Okay.
No, so what did he give you? He gave you kulikuli.
I mean, that's the answer you want. You,
And you didn't bring out the kulikuli. Hey, thank you. Thank you. You see him? I said,
right. He likes kulikuli too much. The other time we were in a meeting, he was standing at one corner, shouting into my ears that, didn't you bring kulikuli from the What is that? I think, is it 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
You asked me a question about Salis.
Yes.
Finally, I have an answer for you. After nearly 5 months since he joined Sunderland,
yeah,
from loans, that is from Ligue 1 to Championship, a lot of people won't think that there's so much difference between the Ligue 1 and the Championship. And finally, after those 5 months, he has made his debut yesterday.
Great to see him again.
For Sunderland against Stoke, that is in the FA Cup. He came on around the 79th minute and played. They went on extra time, and through those 45 minutes he has been in the game, he was decent, a bit clean, especially with his passing, as you can see here. Only misplaced 2 of the 35 passes he attempted. But unfortunately, he gave an awkward back pass that his teammate failed to control, and Stoke scored the winner through that. So Stoke won 2-1. But overall, it's a good step for him. His coach was overall happy to see him back, especially looking at the kind of experience and quality he has. He's an experienced international.
It's good to see him playing again.
Was it registered as
yes,
Sally's
it
error?
was registered as an error to go.
But it's his teammates who couldn't control it.
No,
Professional footballer, he couldn't control
the teammate didn't touch the ball, and the ball was also too high.
Control.
So if you are giving a back pass, at least it should be down, not
Yeah.
high.
To be fair, the pass was awkward.
No, it was awkward.
Yeah.
But you see pressure. And you, the teammates, when you see that a pass, he could have controlled it. The teammates did, it's not my matter. You should see the video.
Now let me go to Daniel Cranton's friend, Kamaldeen Sulemana.
Yeah.
And this is the most important thing. A first goal in 19 months.
Huh?
That is
19
months
months
away
is
from 2 years.
months.
19 months.
Southampton got
So he was how many months away from 2 years without scoring?
3 months.
No, but to be fair to him, the context is that he has
Yes,
played a lot
so
of football.
that's what I'm going into.
Yeah.
The last time he scored a goal.
Oh, no. He was 5 months away from 2 years. I beg. 2 years is 24 months.
My bad. the last time he scored a goal before this goal was against Liverpool. That brace on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
So that's May 2023, and he scored in January 2025. So nearly 2 years. And to be fair, through that time, he has struggled with
injuries. Yes.
And when he comes back, he struggles to get into the team and all those things. Last season like this, he missed about 18 games through injuries, and this season he hasn't been so fit. But yesterday, how he played, there were positive signs, going direct at players and trying those skills. It means that his confidence is coming back. And his manager, he has been linked with so many clubs, and the manager is saying that he wants to keep good players and describe him as a good player. Now, Andrea, he's a man on form. 2 games. The last
goals.
time he played against his former club, that's Marseille, he scored against them, and yesterday again he played against Lens, and he scored. Unfortunately, they lost. But if you are looking at Ghanaian players in the top 5 leagues, I think about 3 players. Looking at all those players we think we have a lot of attackers. Only 3 players scored more goals than him. You are looking at Semenyo, 5 goals in the Premier League, and he hasn't played so much because he's just getting into the team. He has signed. He didn't do a lot of preseason with them. Semenyo has 5 goals, and I think Jordan has 4. Then Kudus has 3. So he has 2 in 2 games. Hopefully, it will continue like that. Would you want to see him back in the team, Sicho? The Black Stars.
Very soon we'll start.
Well,
Bring back Capito.
it's an interesting conversation now. Without him, the team hasn't been good. I'm not saying with him in recent years the team has been any better. But you want to put your best team together. I personally would bring him around the team. But with what Otuado has said he wants to do and build a team for the future, I don't think that he invites him, even if he continues with this form. But look, he's Andrea Ayew. He's not retired. He's not been retired from national team. If he continues scoring at some point, Otto's hand will be forced to bring him back.
Otto's hand has to be forced. The players he's playing, they are not proving that they are capable of filling that point.
That's a good point.
So he doesn't have any point. The person is scoring, he's playing 71 minutes in league. At least just put him in the box. I have put this thing here specifically for a reason. Yeah. Not to say that he has done so bad. If you are looking at yesterday's game, he has touched the ball only once in the box, and that was a goal. And if you are looking at how brave he was to put his head in there, a lot of players who do those. Yeah. So,
and even for the goal he scored against Marseille, it was similar to that game. Yeah. And then the reception he got back at Marseille was brilliant. The whole stadium applauded.
That is where most effective he is. So it's just about how to use him. Maybe we should just look at that and give him the nod. Master, we need him.
Can you frustrate?
Let me just wrap
up
to the team of the week. And I have Jedin Odro, Romowusu Odro in pole. He didn't have competition with the Ghanaian goalkeepers across the globe this weekend. I think he was the only one who has been in action for AZ Alkmaar, and they drew 2-2 against PSV. Then Abdul Mumin, he was again exceptional for Rayo Vallecano. They won 2-1 against Celta Vigo. He was the second player to complete the most clearances and also made the most blocks in that game. Then Abdul Salih Samed, he was also scored his first league goal in France and helped Mohamed Salisu. He scored his first league goal in France, and that is he now has 1 goal in England, 1 goal in Spain, and now 2 in France. He's progressing. And especially
one league, 1 goal.
Yes. Especially in this game, there's something I'm really impressed about, how his passing game. He completed 101 passes in that game, and that is 20 more than any other player in that game.
Wow, as a centre back, wow.
That's a lot of passes.
Yeah.
They played against Nantes.
Oh.
That's a lot.
101 passes.
Gideon Mensah also played in Liga. Auxerre, they drew goalless against Lille. Elias Owusu is Gideon Mensah's teammate at Auxerre. Then Abu Francis and Lawrence Ajekum, they are also teammates at Cercle Brugge, and they won 1-0 against McLean, that is in Belgium, and both players were decent. They partnered, especially in this position, the 2 central midfielders, they partnered there. And then Emmanuel Jesse, a player that we've almost forgotten. I think he played in 1 window for Ghana, and after that, he has not played.
Yeah,
for a player that is playing in the Serie A, 20 games this season, he has featured in all of them. And especially, this is the position that the team is playing. We've known him to be a centre forward, but since that call up to the Black Stars, he has now been made to play as a wing back, and all the 20 games he has played, he has scored 2 goals and provided 1 assist. That one came against in their 3-1 Empoli's 3-1 defeat to Lecce, and that was his first assist of the season. He has 2 goals. Then I've spoken about Kamaldeen Sulemana, and then Andre Ayew. Then Semenyo, he came off the bench to score for Bournemouth in their 5-1 win against West Brom. So that is it from the weekend. Semenyo now has 6 goals this season in 21 games.
Thank you, Bande Pep Guardiola. Thank you so much. I like your team. Your team looks very strong. So Otto's hand should be forced to bring back Andre Ayew. Good evening. This one is from Issa Hamadou from Samuel Boy. He says that if we want the Black Stars to be Black Stars as it used to be, we have to stop putting political views in Ghana football. And this one also says, good evening, Sports Zone. Happy to watch you again. United is the biggest joke at the moment. Matches you expect them to win, they will lose. And those you expect them to lose, they will win. And put unnecessary hopes on their fans. Greetings to all Chelsea fans from China. Yes, China in the Upper East. Castro Steve from China. And this one also says that my darling club Liverpool is going to smash Nottingham Forest tomorrow. We will show them that the defeat at home was a mistake. From Jacob School once again inside EAG. Hi, good evening. My name is Faruku from Upper East Binduri. Manchester City next match will win 4-0. Hello, good evening. I think it is good to think for the Black Stars not qualifying for the AFCON. I think it's a good thing that the Black Stars is not qualifying for the AFCON, and I pray they don't for the World Cup too. So His Excellency, the President, can use those money to do better things in the country. If you know the agenda they have about qualifying for the World Cup, you would not send this message. And this one, he says that if the FA President is still at post there, they shouldn't qualify for any tournament since they don't want to reason small. Makafui, Tamale. We have Makafui in the studio here. And then this one, why is the GFA trying to keep Otoado? Ghana is hot. Nothing is working. I pray House wins the FA Cup. Abraham Masari. Now, let's take a quick break. When we come back, it is Guinness Match Day. Welcome back from the break. This is Sports Zone. And now we are bringing you Guinness Match Day. Sports Zone is proudly brought to you by Kivo Gary 4-in-1 Mix. Ama Gary so can say easy. And Guinness Match Day is brought to you by Guinness. Yes, we can. This show is also supported by Appiah Beverages, a taste you will love, and Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough. Now, in Saudi Arabia, Barcelona caught Real Madrid and taught them a small lesson. People had thought that maybe beating them in La Liga, Real Madrid was going to revenge that defeat in the Spanish Super Cup. But it was Barcelona that came from behind to wallop them far away in Saudi Arabia. What is that special thing that Hans Flick is doing that he's getting the better of Real Madrid? Then Akrantin, the touchscreen specialist, I don't know how to put it.
Supreme tactical.
The supreme tactical. Wall up Real Madrid by 5-2 in Saudi Arabia in a Spanish Super Cup to win that competition. Sicho, just your brief thing. He spoke about how the front two of Real Madrid could not cover to give them many bodies behind the ball. And that is basically something that we've seen almost all season for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, Vinicius Junior is not noted for his work rate of the ball, and Kylian Mbappe has the same reputation. When you are talking about the profile of players, you are tempted to look at what they do with the ball, but one of the key aspects of player profiling would be what they are unable to do without the ball. And I think Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe off the ball are not great, and so he allowed Barcelona to just escape the first line of defense for Real Madrid, if there was any. Yeah. I don't think there was. And once that happened, he also forced, and that is why Nani pointed it out with the way Camavinga was playing Gavi, I should say, because if the first line is not present and the boy is bypassing them, then Gavi has the liberty to move into whatever space there is available because there's no pressure on the ball that is, ahead of him. And so he allowed him to roam around in the spaces behind him, knowing that the ball would progress. And once that ball progressed, because Camavinga is doing the man marking, it leaves the midfield widely open, and then Barcelona could pounce. But one other thing, too, that disturbed Real Madrid was, because the front line is not present, and the midfield now has to engage once the ball bypasses the front line. Lewandowski is smart. Lamine Yamal is smart. Rafinha is smart. What Lewandowski did was to drop deeper than the two wide players. And when Daddy pointed, you saw how Lewandowski could fling the ball to Lamine Yamal, and also how Casado could spin the ball to, Rafinha for his goal. So once Lewandowski steps up, they know very well that Real Madrid are playing a very aggressive defender in Rudiger. Now, if you want to be aggressive, you have to be tight to your man. You don't want to react very late. And Rudiger was also almost always very late. To reacting to Robert Lewandowski. Because if you are very close to, if you really want to play very tight to your man, you can't afford to give him a yard. Because once you miss that space and you step up, the space in behind you for the runners to get into that. Yeah. And Robert Lewandowski was smart with it. He knew he was the striker. He knew he had to get the goals. But in this game, he knew he had to pull the centre-backs out of space so that he could lay it off, or they could lay it off to the runners off him. And one other thing that Barcelona did great was that Lamine Yamal is great when it's on the line. Rafinha is brilliant when it's on the line. But in this game, they refused to play on the line. They were playing in between the lines. So right in between Tchouaméni and Vasquez was Rafinha. Right in between Rudiger and Mendy was also Lamine Yamal. And Madrid's individual errors in terms of defending cost them. I thought even for Lamine Yamal's first goal, a proper centre-back doesn't align himself like Tchouaméni did, surely he's going to carry on to his left. If you look at how Tchouaméni reacted,
it was
too easy
to
get past him.
Yeah.
You want to show him to his right. You just want to, get close and make it uncomfortable. But he gave himself up with the way he aligned his body. Not to take any credit from the goal, but I'm saying a centre-back.
A natural centre-back would have read the situation much better.
But yeah, credit to FC Barcelona. Their game plan worked to perfection. Real Madrid couldn't react to it. But Real Madrid risked, conceding a lot of goals when they play against very good teams. They'll win against a lot of teams, but when they want to win the big titles in the Champions League, like the Super Cup, and they come up against teams like Barcelona, Bayern Munich, a good Man City team, or other top teams, they're going to struggle because if you don't defend well from the front, and the players can easily be manipulated to shift into positions where they can be exploited, then Real Madrid are in danger. So Carlo has a lot of work to do, if you ask me.
You're not talking, you've already broken it down for us. So let's go to England and bring you highlights of FA Cup matches. Arsenal came up against Manchester United. Manchester United had 10 men, but guess what? Arsenal couldn't get the better of them. That's what someone said, that Man U is winning matches you don't expect them to win, to raise your hopes. It is the hopes that kills. Then Chelsea, Liverpool, they were all in action. Liverpool will play tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. Let's bring the highlights of matches that were played in the FA Cup over the weekend. Guardiola, Manchester City, whitewashing their opponents. Hey, Pep, when you just beat you, basa, 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 like that. This is a message from, my name is Prikmu. He wants to know if we've cooked Madrid already. Good evening. Ghana Black Stars can get their feet if Mohamed couldn't stop advertising products and concentrate on his career. And Kwesi Nyantakyi is brought back as GFA president or openly asking for forgiveness from him. The current GFA president is a politician and not an expert. This is from Alan in Borga. He goes on to say that Barcelona could have scored 7 if the goalie were not given a red for Yamal and Gavi to be sacrificed. And he said, please tell me something about Manchester City transfer now and forget Madrid and Barcelona. From Agbadeka, Richarlison inside the AG. We're going to talk FA Cup. We'll talk about transfers when we come back next week and probably give you better insights. Around that time, you'll have better ideas as to which player is moving where, because the market is still wide open. So anything can still happen. But let's talk FA Cup. What is wrong with Arsenal? Sicho?
Well, that's a difficult one to answer because...
United have 10 men still able to get a better of...
Look, I think that what killed Arsenal against Man United was the lack of finishing. And we've spoken about this on this show almost every time we sit here, that Arsenal... I'm convinced that Arsenal needs a striker, somebody who is just there for the goals. Forget about his first touch or his ball control or his hold-up play and being involved and dropping deep and being cute. Somebody who in the box can just sniff and score. Somebody who in the box can just peel from his man and then, get that ball into the back of the net. And I think they are suffering it now. Because in that game against Man United, they created all the chances to be able to find the back of the net. Credit to Man United with the way they defended. Credit to Man United with the show of character, especially after going a man down, to hold Arsenal through 120 minutes, even though, okay, so let's say...
They played basically 60 minutes.
Over 60 minutes.
With 10 minutes.
Extra time to hold on to win on penalties. But ultimately, it was a game I thought that Arsenal had it to win, especially after United went down by a man and some of the chances that they created. But United will pick many, many positives from this game. And for me, like I've always said, when you're supposed to be a title-winning club and you've built your project over 3 years and you've not achieved the success, everything after that is a reboot. And I think Arsenal is rebooting because most of his players have hit their peak and they're unable to go another level. A player like Martinelli, I don't think he's going to go another level. At least it's not shown that he's going to another level. Trossard is not going to another level. Sterling is on the wrong side of his career, I think. Jorginho is there. Thomas Partey, can he get any better? I don't think so. Maybe Saka can, maybe Odegaard can, a couple of players can, but you wonder if, the players that he's dependent on, Kai Havertz, the players he's dependent on, have already hit their peak over the 2 years. And it's beginning to look terrible for Mikel Arteta, having done so well from the start or in the middle of his time at Arsenal, and now looking like he's going to go another season without a trophy.
Danny K, Was it Amorim who was brilliant or Arteta who did not get the right things done? And talk to me about transfer, because if you knew very well that you needed someone to put the balls at the back of the net, and you didn't do that in the last transfer window, then you actually shot yourself right in the foot.
That's because Arteta doesn't believe he needs a number 9. I think he trusts his squad to be able to get him goals. If you look at the goal distribution from last season, on paper it makes sense, but I think Cicero is right. There's just something a number 9 gives you that you can't necessarily quantify with just stats and numbers. They are, especially big games like this, are won with in moments. You don't expect one team to completely dominate. It's two big teams who are playing. So you count on the mistakes from your opposition or very good individual moments. Maybe a tactical instruction will work 1 out of 10, and when it works, you have to be prolific enough to put the ball in the back of the net. But unfortunately for us now, they were not able to do so. If you look at the chances they created, the number of chances they created, I thought they should have won. This game shouldn't have gone to extra time. Yeah. But it did. And when it did, you could just tell United were just digging deep and hoping that it went to penalties. And for me, once it went to penalties, because Bayenda had already saved one in the shootout, he entered that penalty shootout with a bit more confidence. And Ryan,
he was always taking off before the players took the penalty.
Like, only late things. The player hasn't kicked, then you throw himself.
But when the game was going to extra time, one thing that crossed my mind, it took me back to 2009, that under-20 World Cup final against Brazil.
Yeah. 10 against 11.
Yeah, and the way Man U continued to play, they still had this kind of confidence, believing that they could just see it through and take it to the penalty shootout.
120 minutes. United players and it was like they had won.
Yeah,
they almost celebrated the fact that it was going to penalties, and that gave them the momentum going forward. But I'm also very happy for Sexy scoring the winning penalty. Very important for his confidence. And he came on. I think he did a really good, really decent job with his hold-up play, wrestling with defenders. He did something to Saliba during the game.
In and out.
Sulia. But it's really good for him. In fact, now United they've gone to Anfield, got a point, gone to the Emirates, got a win. Yeah. And now they
won at the Etihad as well.
And in fact, we were here a few weeks ago talking about that visit to Arsenal, where we're saying the possibility of a defeat was going to happen.
Yeah, and here we didn't mention that he needs to pick a team and stick with it. And since that conversation, he's picked a team, he's stuck with it, and we can straight away see partnership being formed. Maguire all of a sudden looks like in between Delete and Martinez or whoever plays off him is looking brilliant. And yeah, I mean, the United did put up a very good, resilient fight.
Okay. Just by way of update, if you haven't heard it, Tyson Fury says that he's retired from boxing. Yes.
Is that what? Third time is the time.
In fact, I was just saying that if someone comes and places a very good offer on the table for another fight, he will come back and fight. So that's Tyson Fury for you. This has been Sports Zone, proudly brought to you by Kivo Gary 4-in-1 mix. I'm a Gary so you're easy. Syntax tank, you're strong, you're tough. Guinness, yes, we can. Piva beverages, a taste you will love. Tomorrow is the birthday of Jennifer Agbagba.
Jenny.
United
fan.
You're the reason why he's always standing behind the camera. You're the reason why he's not sleeping now.
Jenny.
He'll come home. Yeah, Jenny. Thank you so much for giving him that emotional stability for him to be able to do very good job. You just look at...
Madam Jenny.
Jenny's 4 days.
She's 4 days.
Happy birthday, Jenny. And whatever you wish for yourself, we pray that God will grant it for you. And also, a very happy birthday, a second birthday, to Mumin Nabila Abdullah, my son. He turns 2 tomorrow.
Baby Nabila.
Yes, baby Nabila. Turns 2. Yeah, Enjoy the rest of our programs here on the Joy Prime channel.